We are building the ultimate free resource for the web content accessibility guidelines on Accessible. So here's what's happening. In the last few months, we have redesigned, rewritten, and re released my original WCAG guide and checklist. So, with these new documents, what you can expect is a sleek new design, fewer words, and it's even easier to understand what each success criterion is asking for. And you can download all of these documents, both the legacy and the new documents, for free on accessible.org/WCAG. And there is no email subscription required. All you have to do is go to this page and you can download the PDFs directly to your hard drive. Also on this page is all of the background information you might need to have better context for the web content accessibility guidelines and what they mean. You can find out what the different conformance levels mean, what the different versions represent, what success criteria means. All of that information is also available on this page. But what I want to demo for you right now is something that you will find nowhere else, and that is our customizable and sortable WCAG table. So what we've done is we've taken the checklist and put it into this interactive table so that you can sort the checklist to fit your needs. So you can sort by the different versions. So you can sort by WCAG 2.0, 2.1, or 2.2. You can sort by the different conformance levels, and we have A and AA. And then you can sort by different team roles. So we have developer, designer, and content editor. And so these are the roles that might be associated with different success criteria. And so for the table itself, let's just work through the columns real quick. There's a column for success criterion. There's a column for title. This column also contains the quick summary of the requirement. Then we have conformance level. Then we have lawsuit risk, and we'll get to that in a moment. And then we have the team roles. And then so we have all of the success criteria that are available based on how we've sorted this table. So what we could do is we could sort by only version 2.2, and immediately we see that there are only 6 success criteria available for level AA, which is going to include level single A. But we could even sort by just level A, and now we're down to just 2 success criteria. So I'm going to uncheck level A and I'm going to uncheck 2.2, and we're going to go back to this original complete table. And what we see is that the first 3 success criteria have a lawsuit risk showing. And so for 1.1.1, the lawsuit risk is a 10 of 10. For 1.2.1, the lawsuit risk is 2. And then for 1.2.2, the lawsuit risk is 4. And then for the rest of the success criteria, this is blurred out. And so to access all of the lawsuit risk information, you would need to sign up for the ADA compliance course if you haven't already. And there you will be able to sort the table and prioritize the success criteria by the risk of lawsuit that they bring. So there are certain accessibility issues that are more likely to lead to a lawsuit than others. And what I've done is brought all this research in and assigned a level associated with each success criterion, and then brought this into this table so that if you want to access the premium version, you can now sort by the accessibility issues that bring the most risk for website owners. And so that's really nice because while you're working on accessibility, it's always, you're working on accessibility anyway, you might as well take care of the issues that are most likely to lead to a lawsuit first. And then when it gets to team roles, again, this is just tethering the success criteria to specific team roles so that your team, as they're working on an accessibility project, you know who to assign the different success criteria to. So for 1.1.1, this could potentially involve the content editor or the developer. But for 1.2.1, it's going to be specifically for a content editor. And then the first few success criteria are all content editor, and then we get into developer for 1.3.1, but it could also potentially involve the content editor. But the point here is that now you know which roles on your team will be involved or should be associated with the given success criteria. So you can delegate based on this table. And again, you can sort. So let's just say you just want to focus in. Let's say your website's already WCAG 2.0 level AA conformant, and now you just want to focus in on 2.1, you can go to this versions and you can select the 2.1 checkbox, and now you have sorted by just 2.1. Let's say you just want to focus on level A success criteria, you check level A, and now you're just looking at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 level A success criteria in version 2.1. And by the way, the team role here is all developers. So this is a really nice resource to have. It's completely free other than the lawsuit risk, but otherwise you can still use this table to work on your accessibility projects. And that's what's already happening. We see a lot of teams are already going to the WCAG page and just working through this interactive checklist and sorting by what information they need. But what's important to remember, again, is that these are only summary of the various success criteria. So you also need to be aware of the layers, because success criteria usually have layers to them, and there are other exceptions that you need to be aware of. There are more details. So really where this table comes into play is when you have a better understanding of the full requirements, and then you use this table as a shortcut because you now have this condensed down into this quick summary, but you're aware of all of the details that are underlying each success criteria. So for that, I'm going to scroll down, and we just scroll down, and then we can see on this page we also have static tables for each of the 3 versions, all of the AA success criteria, which again includes single A. But as we scroll down, we get to the WCAG course section, and the WCAG course is my course that provides you a full explanation for each success criterion in WCAG 2.2 level AA. So that's going to include 2.0, 2.1, single A, and all AA success criteria are inside this course. And each lesson has a video where I go through each success criterion and break down the requirement, the exception, and make it as easy to understand as possible. And everything's in plain language here because I wanted to make the course beginner friendly. And that's really what this comes down to, is just understanding the web content accessibility guidelines and exactly what they're calling for. So this WCAG course gives your team really the setup knowledge, the fuller knowledge, the 360 scope of exactly what's happening with accessibility. And we break down each success criterion. And again, your team could just work through the success criteria that are applicable to them. Of course, I recommend knowing all of the success criteria, but the point here is that you have this course available where you can sign up, and it's once you make your purchase, you have access for life. So you have access to all of the updates, you have access to any additional resources that I add. They will all be included in the course, and you can always go back to the course and reference any success criteria where you're not sure maybe what the requirements are, or what was that exception again. You can go back to the WCAG course, and it's available. You'll have access to it for life. So I will include links to this WCAG page. I will include links to the WCAG course. And then I think there was another resource that I mentioned that will also be in the description for this video, but use this resource. It's completely free, and it is here to help you learn the web content accessibility guidelines.